my 5 years coaching, it's the best. I've been blessed with a great group of kids, and it's so nice. From not only standpoint, they're great kids, they're fun to be around, but as a coach, I only have to say things once, and things get accomplished, things get done, and I can't always say that that's happened before. So I hope the best for them. I know that they're very confident. I know they're as much as the success of this team as are the juniors and the other kids contributing, but I'm really excited for them, and I think they're going to have a great year.
I think our goal this year is to win every game. I don't see why we can't.
I think that's our first goal, and then go as far as we can after that. So I think we got a pretty good chance this year.
What ended as one of the greatest basketball seasons in Jefferson City High School history opened at the St. Charles West Tournament. A late start for Dave Fox's Jays Monday, December 8th. JC had little trouble with St. Charles. An 18-5 run in the first quarter spurred Jeff City to a 20-point halftime lead, 40-20. Junior Jarrett Brown led the way with 16. DJ Hogue added 14. 11 Jays played. 9 scored as the Jays, ranked number 9 in the state, opened with an easy 69-41 victory. Close call in the second game of the season, although it didn't look like it early. Semifinal game of the St. Charles Tourney, JC opened with a 15-0 burst against University City, but held on to win by only 4. This Justin Gage slam in the closing minute closed the door on University City. The Jays advanced to the tournament finals with an 80-76 victory. Nothing close about the tournament championship game. Jefferson City whipped up on host St. Charles West. 10 different Jays scored. Jarrett Brown with 16, Justin Gage 13. A dominating second half. Jays outpointed West 41-16, easing on to the 80-39 blowout victory. Jefferson City was a perfect 3-0, claiming the St. Charles West Tournament Championship. Still on the road, the Jays traveled to Sedalia Smith Cotton to take on the Tigers. Averaging 75 points in the early season, JC poured in 4 3-pointers during a key second quarter run, 8 trays on the game. Jays up 41-22 at the half. Blair Thompson led the attack with 21 points, playing 4 games in 7 nights. The Jays made it 4 wins in 4 games, 72-58 over Sedalia. On the road again, Saturday, December 20th, the 9th-ranked Jays dominated De Smet. The Spartans, ranked 4th in the state, hadn't lost a game until this night. Jays hit their first 4 shots from the field, leading 29-17 at the break. Blair Thompson scored 15 of his 17 points in the first 11 minutes of the game. The blowout was on. Jefferson City led by as many as 31 in the final frame, coasting to the 60-45 victory. The Jays were 5-0, finally heading home for the first home game of the season. Day after Christmas, opening night of the Mid-America Grade 8 Classic at the Fleming Fieldhouse. Huge crowds on hand all weekend. One of the top high school basketball tournaments in the Midwest, featuring teams from Tulsa, Oklahoma, Memphis, Tennessee, St. Louis, Kansas City, and Mid-Missouri. The Jays opened with Hickman Mills out of KC. JC leading most of the way, but let an 11-point lead dwindle to 1. A tight game until a 10-1 Jays run in the fourth quarter. Blair Thompson finishing with 25. Doug Call had 17. The Jays went on to beat the Cougars 60-49. Following night, Saturday, December 27th, Grade 8 semifinals. Jefferson City matched with Riverview Gardens. JC dominated the opening half, jumping on top 43-24. Later, going up by as many as 27. Doug Call and Justin Gage both finished with 14. Solid Jay-Bird defense held the visiting Rams to just 34% shooting from the field. JC hit for 53%, moving to 7-0 on the year with an 85-61 win. The Jays advanced to the Grade 8 title game for the first time since 1993. The Jays came in averaging 72.5 points a game, but Vachon's deliberate tempo-controlling style kept the score much lower in this game. The Wolverines built a 36-21 lead late in the third quarter, but JC rattled off 16 straight points. A Jarrett Brown three-pointer gave Jeff City its first lead since early in the game. It was 37-36 Jefferson City, but Vachon scored 2 key buckets in the closing moments. including this Jesse Atkins lay-in with 6 seconds left. Vashon handed the Jays their first loss of the season, 40-37 in the Mid-America Grade 8 Finals. Meanwhile, a part of the weekend festivities, Patrick Center crowned as the Slam Dunk Champion. The Jays opened the new year at Hickman High in Columbia, Monday, January 5th. It wasn't pretty, but the Jays escaped with a victory over the rival Cupies. 16 lead changes in this game. The Jays led when it counted, 63-62. A 1-point victory. Patrick Center and Doug Hall both finished with 15. This would be the first of 3 wins over the Cupes this season. Nothing close about the annual Jeff City-Helias crosstown rivalry, a series characterized by close games and great finishes. This was not. The Jays jolted the Crusaders by 40 points in perhaps the biggest blowout ever in the Capital City clash. The Jays held Helias to single digits in every quarter, 29-12 at intermission. More of the same in the second half, the final 69-29. The Jays improving to 9-1 on the season.
You know, it's nice, and I'm happy for the kids. You know, these kids have grown up together, and it means a lot for them. You know, it's the next game on our schedule, and we'll go from here. But you're right, it was a big win.
Another big weekend of basketball in mid-Missouri. Jefferson City hosting the Central Bank Shootout at Thomas Jefferson Middle School, while a mix-up in jersey colors put the Jays in the road red and delayed this game for about a half hour. It was worth the wait. JC hammered Hazelwood East. The Jays used a 17-0 run in the first quarter, taking a 24-6 lead. Jefferson City eased on to the 71-42 blowout win, improving to 10-1 on the year. Shootout night number 2. The Jays led the defending state 4A champs CBC by 13 in the fourth quarter, but let the Cadets back in it. Drama in the final seconds of regulation. Blair Thompson called for the charge with 6 seconds left. Doug Call opened the scoring in overtime. The Jays would hit key free throws. They held on to win it 51-48 in overtime as this three-pointer rims out the Jays. 11-1, ranked number 8 in the state. On to Webster Groves. The Jays bury the Statesmen by 31. 69-38. Webster no longer with the likes of Johnny Parker or Tate Decker. Next up for the 12-1 Jays, one of the best weekends in the history of Jeff City basketball. JC welcomed the state's top-ranked Lafayette Lancers, a perfect 16-0, ranked 24th in the country, at least until this January 23rd meeting. The Jays controlled from the start. After a 12-0 run in the first quarter, JC went up 20-8. Blair Thompson led all scorers with 24. Jefferson City knocked off Lafayette with a relatively easy 70-54 victory, an impressive 16-point win over number 1 Lafayette. But no time to celebrate. After an early morning practice on Saturday, the Jays would move to the Hearn Center for a Super Bowl Sunday matchup with Vashon in the MFA Break Time Shootout. Absolutely no letdown at the Hearn Center in Columbia. The Jays would avenge their only loss of the season, beating St. Louis Vashon a month after dropping a 3-point game at the Mid-America Grade 8 Finals. This time, Jeff City evened the score with a 3-point win. Doug Call led the way with 18. A key 8-0 run in the fourth quarter put JC up to stay, while Vashon pulled to within 1 with 50 seconds left. Blair Thompson and Justin Gage hit clutch free throws down the stretch. Gage blocked a 3-point attempt at the buzzer. JC over 7th-ranked Vashon 57-54. Following 2 great wins over 2 of the top 4A teams in the state, the Jays hit the road against one of the best in 3A. The 10th-ranked Mexico Bulldogs, and this night belonged to Mexico. JC trailed 36-20 at halftime, closed the gap to 4 late in the game, but came up short 64-57. The Jays now ranked 4th in the state, dropping to 14-2. The Jays bounced right back with a big road win over Oakville, 75-36, Jeff City's 15th victory of the season. And then a setback at home on Tuesday, February 3rd. The Jays slipped up against the Marquette Mustangs. The visitors led by as many as 15 points in the third quarter. The Jays didn't give up. JC fought back with 5 minutes left in the game. JC rattled off 3 trays and 3 free throws. Blair Thompson's free throws gave JC the lead with 45 seconds left, but Marquette's Rob Niemeyer hit 2 from the charity stripe, sending the game to overtime. Justin Gage scored the Jays' only 3 points in OT. Marquette upset the Jays 75-70. A big basketball Friday night, February 7th, the Jays and Rockbridge. The Bruins brought in a 7-game winning streak over JC, including 4 victories in districts that had ended the Jays' last 4 seasons. This was a completely different story. Jefferson City bombed the Bridge by 32. A dominating third quarter made the difference. JC outscored the Bruins 23-2. Call, Thompson, and Gage all in double figures as Jefferson City routed Rockbridge 74-42. On to Rolla, where a stifling Jeff City defense limited the Bulldogs to just 10 first-half points, 28 in the game. JC jumped on top 30-10 at the break. Thompson leading the way with 18 points as JC buried the Bulldogs at Rolla, 55-28. The Jays now 17-3, rated 8th in the latest poll. Jays Hickman take 2 on February 13th. The first meeting was close. This wasn't. JC jumped on top 20-9 at the end of the first quarter at the Fleming Fieldhouse. Doug Call hit for 20 points as the Jays led by as many as 20, winning 68-51. JC held the Cupes to just 31% shooting from the field. Hickman falling to 15-5. They would get one more chance at the Jays later in the one that would count the most. The Jays rolled on to a 19th win of the season, beating Eureka on the road 59-38. Then Tuesday, February 17th in Owensville, Dave Fox's Jays hit the 20-win plateau. It didn't come easy against the Dutchmen, though, who got to within 2, 52-50 in the third quarter. The Jays reeled off 11 straight, though, making it 63-50. Doug Call poured in 19 on the night, Patrick Center 17. The Jays went on to win 81-70. Up next, Rockhurst at home Friday night. The Jays wrapped up the regular season by rocking Rockhurst. Senior night featured 3 non-starters in the starting lineup: Tommy Robbins, Derek Lear, and Sam Nusu. The Jays led 30-22 at the half, easing on to the 61-44 win. Jefferson City heading to districts in Sedalia with a 21-3 mark. 4 years of frustration would finally come to an end. The Jays not only beat Rockbridge in district play, JC humiliated the Bruins, holding Rockbridge to just 5 points in the entire first half. The Jays eased on to the district semifinal win in Sedalia, 58-32, setting up a district final contest with Columbia Hickman.
At this point in time in the season, any win's a good win. You know, those people that win get to continue on, and if you don't win, you know, you turn in your gear and call it a nice year. So we were very fortunate. The kids played very well last night, and like I said, we know we got a tough opponent in Hickman Friday night, and we'll just have to see what happens.
Back to Sedalia Smith Cotton High with the district crown on the line. The Jays met rival Hickman for the 3rd time this season. The Cupes jumped out to the 20-15 first quarter lead, taking a 2-point lead into the locker room, 31-29. But the 6th-ranked Jays were nearly perfect in the third quarter, hitting 9 of 10 shots, including 4 of 4 from three-point range. Senior Blair Thompson was perfect, 11 of 11 from the field that night, 3 of 3 from three-point range, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. Thompson finishing with a game-high 21. Patrick Center's tray put the Jays on top this day. JC went on to win by 10, 67-57, sweeping the Cupes and claiming the coveted district championship. It was on to Washington for sectionals. Jays advancing to the Sweet 16 for the first time in Dave Fox's 5 years as Jefferson City's head coach. Fox entering with 99 career wins. 100 looked like it might be tough against the Troy Trojans. In the early going, Jays trailed by 2 at the end of the first quarter, but then got rolling in the second. JC taking the lead at intermission, then dominating the second half. Jays ended up with a big 30-point win, 83-53. Now 24-3 on the season, heading back to Sedalia for the state quarterfinals against a tough Springfield Kickapoo team who'd only lost once this season.
Kickapoo's a very good basketball team. There's no question about it. They're big, they're very physical, and they've got two outstanding guards. So it's just not a one or two person team.
I think we should do fine against them. I mean, just their record should make us, get up for the game and make us play really well.
Keep working hard to not let it end here. We're not satisfied just going to Elite Eight. Try to keep going.
It was a tough test at the State Fairgrounds. JC just one victory away from the Final Four. Facing Kickapoo, the Chiefs entering with only that one loss on the season, the Jays and Chiefs would go down to the wire. Jefferson City hitting key free throws, held on to win a thriller, 68-65. The Jays were in the Final Four, heading back to the Hearn Center to meet another top-ranked team, undefeated Liberty. Friday afternoon, March 13th, Jays and Liberty, State 4A semifinals at the Hearn Center. Jaybirds jumped out to the early lead, 13-9, but that was the biggest lead for JC. The Blue Jays of Liberty carried a 5-point lead into halftime, 31-26. The Jays fell short by 9. Jarrett Brown with 15, Justin Gage a double-double, 12 points, 12 boards. Liberty would go on to win the state championship, a perfect 31-0. The Jays moved on to a third-place game, a third match with St. Louis Vashon. The Jays and Wolverines split the first two meetings, the last a JC victory here at the Hearn Center, ending with a small skirmish, resulting in a one-game suspension for Vashon head coach Floyd Irons and one Vashon player. Much like the semifinal game, the Jays led through much of the first quarter, but fell behind in the second. Vashon leading 29-22 at intermission, going on to win it 63-50. Jefferson City ending the season at 25-5, fourth in State 4A. A couple losses at the state Final Four could not wipe out 3 months of success and one of the best basketball seasons in the history of Jefferson City High.
It was unbelievable. Last year we lost by 1 point in Rockbridge, and that was a sour taste. This year we came back, we wiped up the floor with them, and then we made it all the way to state. Kind of disappointing weekend, but it's still, it was great.
I knew we were going to do well. I didn't know that we were going to do this well. Of course, I hope to win everything, but I can't get over that we made it to the Final Four, and I don't think that's completely sunk in yet. That's something that only 3 other teams did out of all the teams in all of Missouri. Certainly the Helias game, I think, because we lost the year before to them, and that was heartbreaking, but we came back and we put it to them pretty nicely. But I think the thing, selfishly, I remember the most was I got in and I scored a few points, and I had a bet with my closest friends on the team that they had to shave their legs if I scored over 5 points at any point in the season. And I finally eclipsed that, so they had to shave them up nice and clean for the following game.
It would have to be the practice. It was New Year's Day. My friends were always telling me that, he always said that I would never dunk. My friends were always telling me, you'll never dunk, you'll never dunk. New Year's Day, we were doing some driller, and I went down, and all of a sudden I just felt like I could get up, and so took the ball and I dunked it, and it's the first time I ever dunked. So I'll probably remember that for quite a while.
Ever since, definitely since we went to Memphis during the summer and got won the consolation bracket over there,
expectations have been really high for this team. So, we knew we were going to be good this year, and beating Rockbridge in districts was definitely something special. When beating them for the first time in 4 years was, and I'd been to the games when I was younger, and beating them was something special though.
I've been around the last 3 years. We've lost to Rockbridge in the districts, and just even though we ended the season on loss this time, it still didn't feel quite as bad as doing it in districts. Just the fact that we made it past and just got a little further. Everybody's been playing together, how well they got along, and remember the Washington game, elbowed Coach Gunn in the nose. He probably won't forget that one very soon either, and just the feeling after the Kickapoo win.
I think we had a really good year this year. We had a good record, played some good teams. Lafayette, that was a good game. Made it to the state finals, long time. Finished 4th in state, which was really good. Won our district, that's good, always good. I thought we had a great year. We had a good class, a bunch of great guys working together.
It was a good year. It was fun, you know. It's hard. It's long, longer than most of our basketball seasons have been, but you know, overall it was a successful year, and that's what we wanted to get out of it. The Troy game sticks out because I think we played so well as a team, and all of us were rooting for all of us, and I think we wanted that game really bad, and that was probably the most enjoyable game we had all year.
First district championship since we won state. Making it all the way. We've had some big wins. The Lafayette game was big. Beating Vashon in the shootout. Just winning 25 games, that's pretty much a big step from the years in the past when we haven't made it out of districts and we've lost. And this year is just such much of a relief just to know that we've won through all those games and had that much success. It was fun, especially since the guys that we've been around for a long time, been playing since we were very young with one another. And it's our senior year, and we went out. I think we went out pretty well as a close-knit group of guys.
I thought we had a really good season. 25-5 that's obviously a very good season, and I think it's one everybody's going to remember, especially going to the Final Four and everything. We had some big wins over Lafayette and Vashon, and you know, all the St. Louis teams and everything. And I think it's one we're all going to remember.
Great experience. Had a good time doing it, and you know, we took a lot away from it. Just as a learning process, I just learned a lot, and it paid off. You know, we got where a lot of teams don't get to go. We got to go and just experience everything. And it was, compared to the last few years, you know, it was excellent. It was a great time.
We went to the Final Four and won champions, but I think it was a fun and exciting season in my senior year. At least we got past districts because we've lost like the past 3 years, and it was exciting going to St. Louis and coming back to play in Sedalia and then going down to the Hearn Center, a bunch of big crowds. So yeah, it was pretty exciting.
Well, I thought we had a pretty good year. We knew coming into the season last season that we were gonna have a pretty good team. Like we went to the Memphis Steamboat and we did a pretty good job down there. So we already knew what to expect, that we were gonna have a good team, and our goals were to go to the Final Four, but that wasn't our main goal. We wanted to win the championship, so we just didn't stop there. So once we got there, we just tried to achieve that, but we fell a little short.
25 wins, that's always a good season. You know, that's one of the best seasons that I think JC's had in a while. You know, we came short of our goal, our ultimate goal, to win the state championship this year. But we went to the Final Four, and you know, that's more than what most teams can say. Really, aside from the basketball standpoint, you know, I made a lot of good friends. You know, some friendships that are gonna last a lifetime. Got to spend 3 months with a bunch of great guys, you know, good coaches. So it was a really positive year for us.
I thought we played good. You know, we played good together. Everybody had fun, kept it all fun. We really didn't take it too serious, although we should have. But we mostly had fun a lot, you know. Everybody just had laughs, and there were some serious times, but senior class were a lot of jokers. They messed around a lot, you know, push you in the back, mess with you. But they were a good group of guys, and it was fun, and you know, that'll be a group of guys I'll miss, and hopefully next year our senior class will be just as fun and competitive as they were.
There were so many moments during the year that, you know, this group of kids was a special group, and I know they had worked towards this goal since they were in 5th grade, and just the opportunity to go to state, to be a part of it. After sitting in the stands for several years watching, it was very special to be on the floor.
I want to say that this has been a very enjoyable and exciting season. We've had a group of young men that have really set forth some goals and went out and done an outstanding job as far as reaching those goals, and I'm very pleased and very proud of the young men I had a chance to coach this year.
You know, it's a team game, and we really try to impose that on our kids, and they really rose to the challenge. And to finish with the trip to the Final Four, you know, you can't be overwhelmingly pleased with the weekend in Columbia, but
you know, there's only 4 teams there, and you played the best, and we played the best all year, and we had a chance. And that's really all you can ask for is an opportunity, and we had that, and it was a great year. The American Grade A Classic was probably the best it's ever been from a competitive standpoint to crowd, to the extracurricular things that went on with the slam dunk and what have you, and just a tremendous weekend. And I think, you know, I can't go without saying the district championship over today with the big win over Columbia Hickman, which was our first as far as our staff is concerned and the kids that have been here, and that, you know, I think was a big stepping stone for this program, and it really felt like anything after that was kind of icing on the cake, and we spread it pretty thick with the trip to the Final Four, and you know, you can't say much more than that. It was just a tremendous, tremendous experience.
Hard work, but I think I'll take the memories, you know. I mean, the bus trips and, you know, everybody having fun, the games, winning.
Even if things don't go your way, keep working hard. And, you know, we lost the previous years, but no one stopped working, and we made it to Columbia, which was our goal.
The experience of being around it, just the work put into it, you know, teach me just skills to remember through life.
Basically hard work, because, you know, it's not handed to you. I learned that, you know, in football, it came a little easier than it did in basketball. And, you know, I just learned how to deal with that and work harder to achieve your goals.
Coach Fox and Coach Solomon demanded us of some things, and I think that will help us in the over the years with job-related things. Just
being able to give the effort, all the hard work and everything, and you know, that's something our bosses are going to be looking for and everything, and having Coach Solomon and Coach Fox push us every day and everything, that'll help us out.
Work ethic, and you know, you don't always get what you work for, but you know, when something goes wrong, if you don't try again, then you're guaranteed you won't get it. So after a few of those bitter losses, you know, we worked and came back and got, you know, where we wanted to be.
Jay Pride, I can tell that I played for Jay basketball for 4 years, and just taking that with me, and you know, just having fun doing your 4 years, saying you did something, accomplished something, yeah.
You know, it's taught me responsibility, being a student athlete, you know, giving my all on the court and in the classroom. It's taught me that. It's taught me leadership, you know, being a leader on the team. Being a senior, you know, teaching the younger guys, you know, teaching them the ropes.
They're a very special group. I've had a chance to work with them since I've been here. Just looking back when those young men first started out, we saw a lot of good things going to happen the time they would be senior. These young men had a chance to grow up together. I think it's a unique group. I think they were able to stick together all the way through, and you know, it's a super class. These guys worked extremely hard in the classroom. Worked in the off season as far as building themselves up to be better athletes and better basketball players, and had super attitudes. I mean, enjoy being around them.
This group has just been relentless. They've believed not only in themselves but in us, and to be honest with you, we believed in them. And you know, you always hear people talk about paying the price and having the dividends, you know, take care of themselves. And I think if this senior class take a step back and look at the achievements that they've made over the last couple of years, I believe their payday came in the right way, and they deserve it.